To Bundaberg now, and more than 1,000 furious flood victims have been left devastated all over again after authorities cancelled plans to take them to their homes in the worst hit areas. Let's go to Renee Henry now. And Renee, this was a major blow for flood victims.
It was, Georgie. Many arrived at this old Burnett Bridge behind me this afternoon expecting to be able to go over to North Bundaberg, but were turned away by police. Now, that was incredibly frustrating after at a council meeting this morning, they were told they'd be able to board buses and go over to that exclusion zone for a visit. By this afternoon, police said that simply would not be going ahead because they're still sweeping homes to make sure there's no loss of life, although they're confident that won't be the case. And they're still trying to make sure the area is safe.
Not only disappointing and frustrating, it's a little bit confusing for everybody because none of us know. We have no idea what we're going to have to go home to.
It's not a bungle. What it is, and we've adjusted the timing of this based on the expert advice of the people who are dealing with the safety of the people that are going back in there.
Now, police are confident North Bundaberg evacuees will be allowed to go to their homes from early tomorrow, but they stress that it will only be a visit so that they can see the devastation with their own eyes. We received these exclusive pictures of the Army rolling into North Bundaberg this morning and working to tow the several cars that have been thrown around and piled up. They're also making sure pets have water. The council has been able to start doing tallies. At least 30 homes are severely damaged, 10 will have to be demolished, and that's not to mention the roads and infrastructure that will need complete overhauls. The positive news is that a 350-bed facility, self-contained facility, will be set up here, and there are also almost 50 temporary homes on their way here to accommodate victims while they rebuild. After 2 or 3 days of cleaning, residents and business owners and the strangers helping them are growing tired.
Everything in there when we could get in was just floating around and stuff went from room to room. It was just devastating, you know. Yeah. It made you cry, honestly it did, yeah.
But soldiering on.
I've got a lot of help and all my staff, they want their jobs. Finally back at her Eastside retirement village,
82-year-old Helen Shaw was relieved to have her very own team of soldiers to help and salvage precious memories.
I think it's all wonderful. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life.
On the banks of the Burnett River, boats and buildings that were thrown around and ripped apart. This video shows the moment boat after boat collided with the popular Spinnaker restaurant.
It's coming straight for the building.
It's just you can tell it's just torn through there, hasn't it?
It has. So there's nothing in its path anyway, that's for sure.
Small crop farmers are suffering. These chilies that took 6 months to grow, now ruined.
I'd say we probably lost 80% of the older crops and probably 20% of the younger crops.
The mud is setting in the heat, vehicles bogged in it. There is so much rubbish and waste, mounds of it, right across the city. White goods, couches, bedding, possessions that couldn't be salvaged. 3 people from Bundaberg to Bargara have been charged with looting, but in just about every devastated street, there's a good Samaritan filling bellies and making people smile.
That's very emotional, so it's nothing to brag about. There's so many volunteers, isn't there?
And symbols of hope. Bundaberg also received its visit from the Governor-General this afternoon, and she did manage to put smiles on faces in evacuation centres. Many of those people have now been there since the weekend. Many were keen to tell their stories, and I dare say plenty of stories will be being told right now at a community barbecue that she is hosting. Georgie.
Thank you, Renee Henry in Bundaberg.